almost immediately. All right, welcome on in. Welcome, 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 internet, to my Twitch stream. You're always welcome here. Even if I don't multi-stream, please know and don't be disparaged. Come on over to Twitch if I'm not multi-streaming, but let's say like I tweet it out or something like that. Usually if I don't multi-stream, most of the time it's not because I don't want to multi-stream. It's usually because there's some kind of technical difficulties that came up. So if you see me live solo on Twitch, man, I've been on Twitch forever, so feel free to come over there and support the Twitch stream. And every now and then I might do an event that would be Twitch only. I have to, as much as I have problems with Twitch, I do have to give them props that I've existed on Twitch for a very long time and had a lot of fun streaming. So I gotta at least give them that. Though they do deserve a lot of criticism for the way they implement some of the things, like some of the encoding, stuff like that. They could definitely do a little bit better on that end. Something that other places give you a lot better encoding options, like from the jump. Your stream usually will run smoother. If you're a small streamer, unfortunately, like it's a lot more work to get it dialed in for Twitch than it is some other places, simply because Twitch hasn't figured out, oh wait, if we give everybody encoding, everybody will have a better experience streaming on Twitch, right? Including the smaller people. And the more you get hobbyists like me to stream on a platform, the more those hobbyists will use the platform in general. It really is. It's amazing. That's why it was gangbusters at different eras. Anyway, enough ranting. That's me. I'm always going to find something to rant about. But anyway, we're going to try to test this PC that we've worked on for the last 2 or 3 streams. We're going to see the difference between riser cable performance and the slot, direct to the slot performance, right? It is a 4.0 standard for the slot and the cable. Cable is a brand name that was probably made by somebody else, but it is brand name Cooler Master Cable. It's the cable that comes with one of their vertical stand kits that I bought months ago. And it is, if there is nothing wrong with this cable, I'm going to step out on a limb and say on my build with the 5070, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it shouldn't make a difference. The only thing that could cause a difference, in my humble opinion, would be if there's something wrong with this cable. So, hopefully we don't have a bunk cable. Hopefully we're good to go. My dilapidated thumbs up. So first, I guess what we got to do is we got to get some baseline numbers, baseline test numbers, meaning that I already tested everything yesterday, blah blah blah, and the day before, it starts up, it runs, Windows is fine. We did some 3D Mark. We did some comparison with the last stream. I got to rename that stream actually, but that stream we actually compared a graphite sheet to a phase changing thermal pad, or it's I think it's technically probably thermal paste, but it's just it's solid at room temperature, so they can cut it in squares, and it's actually like a solid piece, right? And then it only melts into its paste state, with CPU temperatures, whatever those end up being, So, yo, Unsavory, what's up, man? What is up? Thank you for coming by on Green Machine. Appreciate you. Once again, every time you guys show up and say if I'm tired of 0, you actually give me 1 viewer. So don't worry about it, man. I'm good to go. I got 1. I got you, right? You're hanging around? You're gonna stick around on Savory? Are you? Huh? Are you? Are you? Yes, no, maybe. Gotta figure out this fucking chat box though. I do need to figure this out. Properties. Do I have the wrong like name of this thing maybe? Is that what it is? 'Cause it works over here. Oh, wait, actually. Wait, what? Chat, it's not working? What? Oh my gosh. We're gonna have to test it. Let's test it. Let's see. Let's see. Let's do a test. Oh my god, chat's broke. Great. On-screen chat. Why? Let's try again.
Imagine that.
Oh, I forgot. I blocked my chats to not have mine show up. Do I really want to do that? Yeah, I probably do, because I got some of my bot actions and restream stuff, it goes through me. So if I don't block me, then all that shit ends up on the on-screen chat. So it's enough, like enough of my bots get through anyway, so. All right, cool. What else we got here? Anything else we need to tidy up before we get going? Oh, I do want to check the stream audio. I kind of like my music a little louder than it's been lately. Let me see if I got it set good today or not. Alright, so watch out for the double. Oh, yeah, it sounds good today. Yeah, we got that music going today. We're good. I think we're okay. Alright, so I'll put that there. Keep an eye on Twitch a little better. What's up, guys? Whether you're watching live or the VOD, it is appreciated. Thank you. Alright, pause that. I don't need that running. Alright, anything I gotta tidy up here, I wonder. Let me pop in this. Oh, it goes the other way. My bad. Okay. Do 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 do. Bum 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 ba da da da. Okay. Try to keep an eye out on these. How much watts we're using? Okay. All my power connections are still good. Alright, so I'm gonna boot it up. I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple of tidying up things on my own. Oh, well, it would help if I turned on this first. Power supply, turned on first. So another thing, like we tested, like we actually tested 2 things yesterday. We were testing obviously the thermal interface on our CPU, seeing which cooled better, and the phase change pad was much better than the graphite sheet. bar nut, the end. Um, the other thing we tested was we went to 3 on our 5070. The 5070, most of them that I know of, and the one that is here, this PNY, they come with a 2-split for the 12-volt high power connector to hook up to 2 PCi 8 pins. But I used an NVIDIA, not a generic, not a third party, none of that crap, like a straight from NVIDIA 3-split to add an extra 8-pin. And we tested that and we were fine. I don't recommend that. Like, bad things might happen, and you don't want it to be you that it happens to. You want it to be me that it happens to. Well, no, I hope you don't wish it upon me, but like, if you know, if I'm making the mistake, don't you also make the mistake, right? But the reason I did that is I just wanted to spread out the 200 to 250 watts that is claimed that this uses. I wanted to spread it across 3 cables, just to kind of help out this is a good power supply, but it's an older power supply, the Seasonic 1250 watt gold. It's a little bit of an older power supply, so I just wanted to take it a little easier on each of those things. And then I also plugged in on this motherboard, you can get more power to your PCI slots with an extra PCi cable, so I plugged that in as well. So I'm hoping that it's balanced out more, like whatever this card can do, even if a riser cable makes it pull a little more, maybe potentially. I'm hoping it's more balanced now, so no one PCI cable gets overloaded, hopefully. Alright, so it should be juiced up enough. Let's go ahead and power this puppy. Alright, and I'm still just doing stock stuff. I don't want to do any overclocking because that adds even more variables to the situation. I am letting just the motherboard's automatic, 5.05, whatever the frig it is that it added to it. I'm letting that be our overclock. That alone. And the RAM, leaving that at 2600, whatever the heck it is. And from there, it is simply, hopefully, only be what happens across that riser cable, or doesn't happen. Alright, so we'll let the thing settle in. Let our temps settle back down. And we'll do like a couple of, just warm-up runs. And then let it settle. And then we'll do the real runs. We'll do basically the same runs we did last time, so we can have some comparisons. I might try the capture card today. We'll see if it's playing nicely, so we can have a little bit of crisper image of the numbers and the statistics while we're going through this. We'll see. Just sometimes this son of a bitch doesn't want to cooperate, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and shut down any of this extra stuff. Kind of leave it similar to the way it was yesterday. Make sure that's fine. Okay, good. Exit this. Put that one. Yep. Leave that going. Oh, free Epic Games. This is probably like the third time I've reminded everybody. But you know, just letting you know. There's some freebies. They're still trying to get us to switch from Steam to Epic. 100% no thank you. But, you know, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. I will take the freebies. And I don't mind a second launcher. And, you know, every now and then I do dabble with, like, you know, maybe Fortnite or Unreal Engine or, you know, anything like that. I dabble with those things anyway. And, you know, every now and then I might buy a skin or some shit like that on Fortnite. So, I might as well get the freebies too. Oh, man. Alright, so I think it's kind of warmed up enough from just idle desktop stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I should, I'm probably going to exit a couple more things than normal. Oh, let's make sure there's no updates on Steam, because that would suck. Like right in the middle of like testing shit, and then it decides to do an update because I forgot to turn that off or some bullshit. So let's go ahead and let it do some updates. Hopefully we don't have any crash frame drops on the fucking stream. A lot of dogs running around today. That's not a good sign. That is not a good sign. You don't want to fuck with the stray dogs. Some of them can be real bad news. Okay, what else? That's fine. I think we're doing fine today. Yesterday was a fucking crazy one for like frame drops and stuff. Had a lot of hitches on the stream yesterday. Dude, I've been stuck on this one playlist. Well, it's actually one video, but you know, he calls it a playlist. But from White Bat Audio from Karl Casey. It's the Moonlight Martini royalty-free, copyright-safe music video on his White Bat Audio channel. Dude, it's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. Been hooked on it. That's what I've been playing every time. But I got plenty of others in a playlist I put together specifically for streaming. Got plenty of others I can use, so we can always switch it up if this order of tracks is getting kind of like like old or whatever, I can switch it up. Alright, so there we go. And launch that. Now I am going to try. Let us see if we can do a capture. Let's try it out. We will see if it works or not. So, you know, it's easy to see that right now we are we are running direct to the PCi slot. Okay, 4.0 gen. Should be at time 16, all that business. Oh.
Imagine that.
Yo, Natural, what's up, fam? What's going on, dude? I think I'm good. So I can move this over, that over. Alright, I'm trying to see if I can, how's that? Going to check if I can share the capture. Where is it? Where is it? Is it here? This one? No, that's the wrong one. So this one. Oh, yay! We got it. Alright, cool. Let me see. It's still not the clearest. I mean, but it's better than what this camera can do. So I think we will try that. Okay. Okay. Click over here. Do that. All right. So we got still Nomad, Speedway. The Time Spy Extreme. Maybe we should throw in Firestrike Ultra as well to the mix. Well, we'll start out going with the same order of things, and then we'll see at the end if we're gonna add different tests or whatever. Windows update you've seen. Oh, I don't know actually. I have seen them in the gigabytes, obviously. I think everybody has. But like I don't know off the top of my head. What are you fighting with right now? Where's my notes at? Corrupted 80 gigabytes. Safe mode. I hate install repair version of Windows. Oh gosh. No thanks, dude. I hope I don't have to go through that. Alright, what am I looking for? I'm a little confused. Oh, okay. This is direct PCie slot. Alright, so let's do, I guess, one, like, warm-up one, I guess, just to, I think we're fine, we'll just go with it. Let's just see what scores we get. Alright, Speedway is first. See what happens. 3 hours? Yeah. Yeah, for real. For real, man. Dude, the largest game I have installed, since you mentioned like, you know, big installations, Windows versus a game, is Middle-earth Shadow of War. That shit is like 150 fucking gigabytes. It's crazy. I'm not sure if that's with the optional texture pack where you can get 4K textures. It may not be. Like that game is ridiculously large of an install, even without taking into account 4K textures. It's fucking insane. And it sucks because a lot of times I use it on my benchmark tests because I like to use they have a built-in benchmark. And so I wish it was separate. I wish the benchmark was separate because gosh, that's a lot of fucking hard drive space to take up just for a benchmark test that I use like, I don't know, like once every 3 or 6 months, some shit. Finding every error. Good grief. Yeah. Yeah, I don't miss that part of like, let's say IT work. I don't miss those types of issues at all. All right, so we got a 5996, which obviously is around 60-ish FPS, right? Speedway, and then let's see, what is the GPU average temperature? So average temperature on the GPU is 69. Nice. 69. Okay, so now we're gonna try Steel Nomad regular. Run it. Oh, your sensor's fixed? Oh, that's great. On your SSD? Nice. That's good news, man. One less problem. Very good. So after we do this test, these tests, then we're going to shut down and we're going to install this. Oof. What the heck? We're going to install this. Yay. I have the black one. Because most of my builds, I do every now and then I have like silver or white builds, but most of the time I just get like the black cases and black peripherals, because usually they go on sale more often than the white peripherals, and then it's, you know, it's just a lot easier when you don't have to like try to get everything to be white. But if I find something like on sale, like I found a GPU that was a white edition and it was on sale, I was like, I don't give a shit if it doesn't look good. That sale is a good deal, so I grabbed it. That was when I got my 5070 Ti. All right, there we go. So now we got a 5394. So around 54 FPS average. So there's 5394 and GPU average temp was what? 72. Okay. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's a lot of dogs roaming around today. Try Cyberpunk Pathway Tracing. No. Yeah, mounts GPU, yes. 10 out of 10. Yeah, would do it again. My case of combination white, black, and purple. Yeah, a lot of times, like, you know, as long as the prices are similar, I will buy to match. But when there's sales, I don't care. I don't care if that shit is like just the opposite of a cohesive theme. I don't care. So it don't matter to me. Yeah, this is only $80 more than regular one, even though it's SFX station. Yeah, $80 is still $80. With $80, I could, you know, I could buy more RAM, or I could, you know, get more fans, or a better cooler, whatever, right? So that's why I usually stay away from white edition things. But every now and then, like what happened with the 5070 Ti that I have. It was a white edition, and for just whatever fucking reason, it was it 60 cheaper? It was like $60 cheaper than the black version, and I don't know why. So I was like, look, I don't care. It doesn't match at all in the case. Like, it matches nothing. But I don't care. I got a good price on it, so that's all that mattered. All right, so we should do Still Nomad Lite next. This is a little bit higher frame rate run because it's easier on the GPU. And then that would mean that we can push the CPU a little bit. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, the mixing of black and white. Yeah. Yep. And especially if you're real good at like kind of like, I don't know, feng shuiing it, you know, like picking certain peripherals to be white and certain to be black. Yeah, you can have a nice looking case. Zebra it up, right? Make your own GPU. Gotta have 128 gigabytes of free RAM. I wish, man. That would be me. That would be me. Like the fucking even the what do they call them? The 6000 RTX Pros. Even those don't have enough VRAM for me. You know. Fuck. Why 128? Let's just go 256. Fuck it, man. You know, 1 terabyte of VRAM. Let's do it. RGB purple. That's what you got? Hey, that sounds good. I like purple actually. I wish there were more purple things, you know. Obviously with your RGB lights you can set it to purple and that's all fine. But I wish there were more you know, except the only purple things I really see in PC components is like the Evangelion anime graphics cards and stuff sometimes, and sometimes they have motherboards Evangelion. I think it might be Asus that does those collaborations sometimes. That's really the only purple I have seen. But I don't want like anything on it. I just want it to be in general purple. Like I wish there were more because I like purple a lot. It's my favorite. Alright, so we pulled a 23611 and Still Nomad Lite. That's kind of 175-ish average FPS. Let's see what our GPU temp was. Average, I mean. Check average GPU temps. 72. 72. Oops. Okay, now let's do Time Spy Extreme. Go ahead and run that. Win GNX over on Twitch right here, right, and on the home team. What's up? Thank you for the offer. Free samples, man. Free samples. Ever since Swiss told me that, it's over with. That's I don't want to pay for nothing. I want free samples. Let's go. Let's go. Sample me up. Sample me some viewers. What do you got there? 800 watts. Cool. Yeah, it would cost 20K. That's true. And you would leave nitrogen. Yeah. Yeah. All true. All true, man. What would happen if tried to install that game again on my SSD What wipe system and what would happen? Dude, why do you want to live dangerously today? I don't know. It might be interesting. Dude, this power supply is running much cooler than the 850 watt was, because obviously this can handle a lot more wattage since it's a 1250 watt, and the 850 watt it gets closer to its ceiling, and so it's running hotter. So this should help out keep the room cooler, I think. Very, very happy about that, actually. You're curious? It's better than CIA. Yeah. Hey, that's what you need to do. Like, if you have any hard drives that has shit on it that you don't want anybody to find, then you need to go through the exact same steps. Yeah, you got the right idea, man. Hell, you could charge people. Be like, yo, if you got any hard drives that you absolutely need it wiped, and of course, you got to tell them, you got to recommend them, yo, you still need to physically destroy this thing, but also, before you physically destroy it, this wiping as well. I've seen people like find destroyed, hammered, broken hard drives, and you can still recover the data on it. So physical destruction, you know, unless of course you're melting it, but that would take a hell of a lot of heat. Physical destruction doesn't always do the job. So when I get rid of hard drives, I do a combination of both. I do my software destruction of it, and then I'll also do a physical destruction if I don't ever want to use that hard drive again. Because there are some hard drives that are just so old, and it's like, look, I can't use it. It doesn't matter even if I want it to. So that's how I handle it. The older stuff kind of sucks when you try to wipe those software wise. It fucking takes a long while because they're so fucking slow. I don't know, it's worth it. Magnets, yeah, that's true. I have used magnets before. You're right. But I still like, even like, dude, there's been times where that I've done everything. That I'm just those paranoid types. So software destruction, right? Writes and overwrites, zeros and ones. You know what I mean? Zero out the drive. And then physical abuse, hammering, breaking, unscrewing, tearing it apart, everything, right? And then magnets everywhere. And then last but not least, throw it in a bag with cat litter and like grease and just like stuff that you're throwing away anyway. And then poke holes in the bag because you don't want it to be like a tight seal, because then you preserve it, right? And just fucking then take it and then you fucking dump it. And I've even gone so far as to spread the parts out, right? Like I'll take part, like when I break it, like one part of the drive goes there, another part goes over there. It's paranoia, man. I'm telling you. It's a sickness. But I have fun doing it. So I think it's like part paranoia but part OCD, that it's like this endorphin release destroying the thing, you know? Like demolition can be quite fun. Alright, what did we get here? Time Spy Extreme. We grabbed a 10582. 10,582. Oh yeah, that's a damn good score. And our GPU average temperature, drum roll, average temp 74. 74. I'm hoping that turning it this way will also help it cool slightly better, because both sides of this will be free to ventilate. Right now, the backside of this is hitting right against the motherboard, so. Alright, CPU profile, we don't need to do that. that should not change. So let's replace that with a different test. What test could we replace it with? Maybe we should do Fire Strike Ultra. Yeah, it's a, you know, it's a different, you know, it's a bit of a different hit to it. And then the final test we'll do is the PCi Express feature test. So let's go ahead and hit Fire Strike Ultra. Wait, did I turn off the preview? If I didn't, we'll have to cancel it. Just do what you did, it can't recover. Yeah. Yeah, I should. Yeah. You need to make like oh, what do you call it? Like do a GitHub, but just for the instructions of how to do it, right? You know? For people like me, so I can follow your exact methodology. I'll still end up physically destroying it. It doesn't matter. That's the fun part of it, damn it. Excuse me. Too many soda today. Oh man, I love me some White Bat audio. Hell yeah. Dude, I almost tried to get a 5090 today, but it just didn't seem reasonable enough of a deal, so I don't know exactly what I would fucking do with it. Anyway. Okay, final test, the combined test. Here we go. Okay, let's check our score here. Alright, so 14, 9, 13 in Fire Strike Ultra. Fire Strike Ultra. And then GPU average. See what our GPU average was. CPU average was 57. That's pretty damn good. Average 70 on the GPU. Okay. Alright, so now the final test will be the PCi whatever the hell system test. That should be a good enough spread to tell if we have any major letdowns when we use the riser cable. Should be able to tell. Dum, bum, 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 bum. This one I might have to take a picture of. I think it has like a bunch of different metrics it tells you. Might be too much to type all that shit into my notes. Okay. Actually, no, it doesn't. Alright, I must have been remembering a different one. So this one, we can just type that number there. That's the amount of transfer speed we had. So we had 25.20 gigabytes per second. Wow, it was fucking hauling. I think it was hauling ass. Alright. And PCi-e feature test. Okay, now we'll hopefully be able to see what the GPU average temperature. $48. Okay. Yeah, it's not really pushing it. It's just seeing how much just blank data I can pass through. Nice. All right, here we go. Let's copy that. All right, so now riser cable. 4.0 cooler cluster. All right, so we are actually ready. I don't think there's any other benchmarks I should really be targeting or mess with. I think that's good. We'll just shut this down. Okay. Go ahead and turn that off. And the concentration focus will be on installing. It'll be a fun little project here. We're going to install the vertical mount and the riser cable. So go ahead and turn that off. Close that. And oh yeah, let's tell Windows to pause updates real quick. Yay, okay, so that way we don't get that stupid update. But also so we don't change anything major. Okay, so GPU's like at 44. Idling, let me see. 44 degrees. All right. Fair enough. All right. Oh, and actually, I am curious about the hard drive temperatures. What the fuck? Let's check out the hard drive temperature. Like 48.
Imagine that.
Imagine. Those GPU cables scare me. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like it either. But maybe when I vertically mount it, I'll be able to, like, you know, do something more organized with this. We'll see. We shall see. Sit down. They bend, yeah. Well, luckily I am on the lower power end. Like, this is not a like a 5080 or something, or a 5090. So that helps a little. But yeah, you should still be nervous. It's like what Grug said in the Crudes. He said, "Never not be afraid." And that's the damn truth, man. Okay, we'll turn off power supply until we get 0 on the kilowatt. Then we pull this, pull that, and then we pull that. Okay. Okay, and then I also like to unplug Ethernet. Let's unplug the HDMI cable as well. I mean, you need the HDMI to move this thing around anyway, but then we'll just let it simmer for a second. And then the last thing I like to do is I like to press the power button on the motherboard to try to get any extra juice out of it, you know what I'm saying? There we go. Yeah, just a little bend is okay, that's true, but still. We'll see if we could do a better job when we vertically mount it. I need like a, what do you call it? Like a stick or something. Ooh, chopstick. Yes. Chopstick. See if I can press this lock. First, I have to find it. Yay, got it. There we go. So now we should have a card that sits like this. Pretty cool, right? Well, very soon we will. Hold on one second. Be right back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I scared you with the chopstick. Yeah, I could have poked a hole in some part of the motherboard. Yeah, that's true. But we made it. We're okay. We're okay, man. We're okay. Don't worry, no more chopsticks. No more chopsticks, man. I think we're okay now. We should be all right. Alright, cool. Now we get to investigate this. I've installed this on other builds before. I don't think I've done it in this case before, so hopefully I didn't overlook any of the measurements or whatever. And everything will be fine. Let me get another table real quick. And on Intertech, like OEM style, those 300 to 500 watt power supplies, yeah, that would be a challenge, my guy. You'd have to come up with some like you would have to use that adapter, right? And each one of those power, like you would need 5 power supplies, right? What is it, 4 or 5 for the 5090, the adapter? So you need a power supply for each one of those. Each one of these adapters right here. Yeah. Interesting. I don't know, have a fire extinguisher ready. Yeah, definitely fire. Fire! Boom, fire! Come. Here we go. Not much of a view. Let me see. Let's switch these up maybe. Or just. Wait a minute. That's not how it's supposed to be. Where's my fucking... There we go. And then... Alright, there we go. Alright, cool. Wait. Yay, there we go. Alright, cool. Go ahead and pop this. Wrestle. Windows, yeah. Alright, so we got a manual. We got the riser cable. Should be 4.0 spec. We got this. We got some of the bolts, screws, whatever. Something else. There it is. This is a chunky one, I must say. That's what we're going to be playing with. Hopefully it fits with this case, this GPU, this motherboard. Hopefully no problems. And then there's that. And then instructions, just in case we get lost along the way. But hopefully we don't get lost. Hopefully we'll be okay. Let's see. Go. Then we switch back. Okay, there we are. All right, so let's just do first like a test fit. Oh yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Oh, well, you don't want to get this, right? So, there you go. Keep that clear. Should be okay. Much better. So that's how it's going to mount in there. But if I remember right, on the instructions, it tells you take this piece out first and you mount that to your GPU. So blue screens and errors. Yeah. Stupid opinion I ever heard. Cooler Master 212 Pro isn't enough for AMD 5600X. Yeah, who the hell said that? Those 212s are fucking good coolers, man. That's like one of the fucking best coolers of all time. You know, I mean, obviously there's coolers that cool better, but as far as just like price, ease of installation, durability, you know, they work on most setups. Yeah, pretty damn good. Not wanting to install driver updates for GPU. Guy from Ministry, attacker from India. Oh yeah. Some of those guys, like they get too much into themselves and their degrees, and they don't actually apply. Like there's a lot of engineers that, from my humble opinion and my humble observations, a lot of engineers don't understand real world shit. Like they're so much into designs. And nowadays a lot of engineers, they don't even have to draw it out on real paper. They get to use like CAD and all these other fucking programs, and a lot of those programs will hold your hands. It don't get me wrong, it's a steep learning curve to understand how to use those programs, but they do hold your hands a lot of the time. And so when it comes to like real world, like hands-on engineering, a lot of engineers are lacking. They don't know real world stuff. Alright, so we already took all of those out, that's fine. And then you test fit that, perfect, yeah. Screw that in. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and test the riser cable fitment and reach. Let me get this out of the way. I ain't gonna pick water cooler for 65 TDP for real. Like what the hell? Cooler was designed for. Yeah. It should suffer broken GPU 1060 with a have more experience. Oh yeah, man. I've done some cooling abominations. I don't know if you were here, but a couple months back I made my own ice cooler box where I could fill it with ice and pass the air through for the GPU's liquid coolers to mount on. So yeah, I'd say people like us, we have the real world experience on a lot of things, and that counts a lot because laboratory experience can only show you so much. You know what I mean? Actually, you know what? Let's quick air dust this puppy. Probably gonna have to mute because I don't want to blow out the mic. But I want to make sure that nothing fell into that PCi slot. We got enough things that can go wrong without that. Okay, muting up. Okay, we did it. We did it, boys. Let's put this down there. Fucking shit is like a tight fit there. Okay, that's good. Lock that puppy. Very good. And then technically this case, it has these. It's hard to see them, but there's some mounting points where if you wanted to do vertical mounting, you could do it to the actual case. But I don't want that. I want to use this one because I think it will allow the GPU to have more airflow. Because if I mount it here, then this bottom part is blocking some of the airflow. It's kind of like being against this. It's like you just move it to another place. But if I put it on this vertical mount from Cooler Master, I think, you know, it gives me a little more adjustment. Alright, so here, without dropping on the motherboard, hopefully, you see these? Unlock those. Like that. And then this piece can come out. That's what you mount the GPU and this, you know, this cable to and shit. Right? So this and the cool thing actually is I can fucking put this down like one lower if I want. If I want to. That gives me that top slot. I think things can flow through. I think. Trying to find the right fucking alignment here. There it is. Okay, make sure I get the wires. Oh, those should be good. Where did I put the baggie? Haha. Also this thumb screw right here is how you can get it to like slide back and forth a little bit better. There's that. Control change retarded windows, yeah. What happened to me? Doesn't know about PC. I picked PC for him. Sure. I'm always game for some good stories, man. Okay, so let's see. This will go, and then that goes in there. Okay. So this would definitely fit. Okay. Let's take it out so we can mount the GPU to it. Otherwise, can I do this easy? Let me see if it will fit in here. Oh yeah, I could do that. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Never mind. I don't have to take it out. We're just going to make damn sure we have a good fit. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, you bitch. Don't be such a bitch. There. Alright, I better put some of these in place. Otherwise... something is going to get damaged. Hold on 1 second, Natural. This thing is a little precarious to line it up. Okay, perfect. Perfect. There we go. All right, cool. Let's see what we got here. Three stories. Curse me for being only one in my class that knows PC. Yeah, don't let people know that, man. He called me 11. Emergency. Fire emergency. like, did someone die? No, he turned off the RGB on case accidentally. No fucking way. He thought that was broke. Second story, my other classmate called me saying doesn't hear anything. First thing I asked, is scroll wheel on, headphones turned on? He said he doesn't have one. Like, sure, he said yes. At 1 hour installing, he installed driver suffering. He found the scroll wheel. Oh my god, those are the worst, bro. Like, I've experienced that. Like, I literally have experienced people tell me, especially like when I've tried to do like help desk type stuff in IT. They will tell you, I'll be like, yo, okay, what I need you to do is I need you to go and click on your start button, right? And they will tell me there is no start button. The bottom left corner, like this is even in the days on Windows XP days where it literally said start on the start button, right? And I would say, are you telling me on the bottom left corner of your monitor you don't see a button that says start? And they will literally tell me no. And I would go with them back and forth, and internet wasn't working. I couldn't remote into their computer. So I literally drove to their office, walked to their desk, looked at their monitor, and I was like, what is that? What is that? Right there in the corner, the left corner, bottom corner, it says start. You told me you don't see that. Oh my god, some people, I don't know if maybe they're just trolling us or something, bro. But yeah, that's the worst ones. Third story, your best friend's PC system SSD was under different name and he couldn't change it. Registry editor change it. No, don't mess with registry. 2 hours, yes. Yeah. Also scroll back a bit more, stories are large. Configuration, had to explain what problem is. They called 150 times over summer. You had to block them. Okay. Oh, that's hilarious. You literally had to block them, huh? Wow. That's ridiculous, man. Alright, let's see what it will look like. Okay. Actually, let me air dust this too, since we got it out and about. Muting up. Always hold your fans still when you do air dusting. Never let them spin up to 80,000 RPMs or whatever the fuck these things will do. Don't do that. You can damage your fan, but then also in some cases the fan spinning can cause like little voltage spikes that can hit parts of your motherboard or your PCB or your GPU or whatever. So bad idea. You're not your friends? Dude, I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to anybody who might be lurking, who will watch the VOD. Yeah, I assume you probably know that, but there's other people that watch this for, you know, shits and giggles, entertainment value. They might just be lurking, or they'll watch it later because they were like, oh, well, let me see how he put this together. And then I always like to let people know in case they are following along. That way, hopefully they have the best info that I can give them. Scroll. I read all 3 of your stories. What do you mean? Did something not come through on the chat? What did I miss? I read it. Let me see. Yeah, most stupid stuff. I said yes. 3 stories actual, yes. Read that. Second story, read that, called me saying doesn't hear anything. And then the first one was the RGB. Third story was messing with the registry. Yeah, I read them. Swear I learned more over 1 year. You'll lose your... Yeah, it's frustrating. Oh, it didn't send? I mean, you're welcome to just copy and paste it. If you can still see it on your end, see if you can copy and paste it and put it back in the chat then. And then I'll read it up. 'Cause for some reason it didn't show up on my end. Might have to like reposition those slightly. Loosen these up real quick. Slide these down. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little. We'll see if that helps us at all. One guy called me, I used any desk. Yep. Bro, force enabled every core. Other one, any desk, bro. Crypto mining on his 1660. Next day, his call and looked at me and I said, I bought motherboard from Temu with 2 CPU slots. Oh man, he's gonna make that big money on the crypto mining, dude. Come on now, don't, man, come on. Gotta be a supporter, dude. He's just trying to make it big. You know how it is. We're trying to make money. Okay. So there's that. Now, I'll mount it good to there. And this would end up, well, sorry. Why is it not? What am I bumping against here? Because this one goes inside of that. It's fine. Wait, did those move? No. Okay. Those would fit in there, no problem. And that would lock there. Okay. So I guess I'll go ahead and put these screws into the top of the GPU spot here. Let me see. Gotta move these mice so I can have a chance. Cause I'm gonna fucking slide this over so I can see better. May be the case where I see it better, but then the stream doesn't. But that's okay. It's fine. Okay. So then I never also about my problem. I was like, I'm gonna lose. I never lose. Make it big means burning house down. Then yes, yeah, whatever it takes. Let's go. Even if my hashtag never lose would be better with me going. Gonna let it happen. Yeah, man. Don't give up, man. You know, that's what PewDiePie says. You know, never give up, never surrender. What the hell? Winner, chicken dinner. Thanks for the follow over there on Green Machine Kick. Appreciate it. Stream had me on. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. I guess that means you're heading out. So, ciao. Have a good one. You're surrounded by idiots. It's a liquid cooling for a 3060. Nice. You're him, so you never lose. Bridge moment. Hell yeah, bridge moment. Be careful out there. Natural, be careful. Oh man, when someone calls me about actual problem, I'm glad to help, but not with them being stupid. Yeah. Well, remember in the movie All Dogs Go to Heaven, the one boss guy, he says, "I'm surrounded by morons." That's how it feels sometimes. But, you know. Good freaking gravy. If I could just get this poor thing kind of ease in here. There we go. We just need it to like line up on the track a little better. And we should be alright. Get this out of my hand. So yeah, this case is a little bit tighter fit than most of the other cases for this vertical mount. So definitely You know, anybody out there thinking about it, definitely check your case and measurements and stuff, because it will work, but I'm just kind of having to finagle it, you know, a lot more than, you know, you probably should and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, just a heads up, anybody considering these vertical mounts. And then, you know, there are different designs as well. So even if this specific one is too tight of a fit for whatever your case is, or, you know, or it's going to be like this and it's going to be a pain in the ass, there are others, and they have different designs that might actually fit better. See, the thing I don't like is that it just makes it fit kind of I want it pulled out more, but this design, it wants you to slide it down. Like that's the design that it is. That's the type. So I guess I'll just have to do what they want me to do. Maybe it's for the best. Maybe I don't want it all the way this way. Just I didn't really want it to mess with this cable. I guess I could run this cable up above. So I guess I shouldn't worry about cables because I can always rerun the cable. So, alright, whatever. We'll do it that way then. Also, trying to do this without pinching your fingers is fun. Now, do I... I mean, that's going to be the sturdiest if I put it like that. But I really wanted it out here, to be honest. And I wanted this all to show, but they also want you to like mount it like right here, which I didn't want to do that either. So I didn't want it to like cover up this. Oh. "4 hours fixing real issues and 5 minutes fixing the idiot." Yeah. Just for my guy to get... What? Login on GPU. Hardest question you would ever hear: would hardware exist without software, or software without hardware? Yeah. It's like passing on to the next life, and there's like chocolate chip cookies everywhere, right? And then you're like, "Oh my gosh, I made it to heaven." And then you go to the refrigerator to get you a glass of milk, but all the cartons of milk are empty, right? That's the kind of, you know, it's like without software, you know, the hardware is kind of pointless. And without hardware, the software can't really exist either or do anything. So yeah. Amen to that. Now there is a reverse way to do it, but I don't know if I want to go through all that. Oh, I forgot to take that panel off. Yeah, I gotta do that. Never mind. Okay. We'll call that a test fitment. How about that? That's fine. Forgot to take this other panel off. Where's my nerd light? I can't see. A brain without heart, yeah. A new mounting position for GPU mount it to wall of case. Yeah, why not? Where did I put? Aha! There we go. Oh no. I have to fucking get rid of some of those? Oh. No, I don't want to. Oh. The other thing you have to worry about on these is, you know, the slots here. If it has solid slots, then you won't have a fun time. Even if I bring it all the way up, then it won't go there either. Need a specific fucking cable for that. Oh my gosh. I could put it one more down. No, that's not gonna help. There's no other adjustments, it looks like. So, question is, do we want to alter our case forever, permanently? We would have to cut. Which one do I need? Where's my light? I need that one right there. So we would have to alter that one right there. All right, let me get my safety glasses. I gotta do some. Gotta cut the case up a little bit here. Where are my glasses? Out air. Why would that work? Sound gun, one day will be made on porosing. Yeah, if the like biological fucking cyborg weird silicon and fucking quantum and biological like cells computers, if they don't take over, then yeah, that'd be something. I know I do have glasses here. I have safety glasses somewhere. Aha! Here we go. I'm ready. Okay, so what I gotta do is cut one of these with some 10 snips or something. And I know I have those, but my goodness, where are they? This one's probably not strong enough. I can try it. What's up, buddy? He's been dizzy. Nah, better to try to cut him, because otherwise. Dude, I didn't say it was impossible. I just said that the biologically hybrid computer chips that AI is gonna like mesh with will fucking take over first. We're gonna have that problem first. There's a way to do that so it doesn't look like shit. Okay. And? I don't care. Bro, make your own fucking adjustments. 100 times electricity it does now. They ain't gonna take over. Yeah. But the thing about the way we measure electricity, like this is my argument. I have a problem with that idea that, oh, you need so much electricity. Well, yeah, we do right now. But in the future, they're going to have different technology, right? Just like airplanes and rocket ships and fucking, you know, jet engines and all that. Like every one of those is like, people were saying, oh, you need too much power to do that, right? There's not enough power to do it, right? So to me, to think that way is kind of like not a good idea. Now, you might be right that they're not going to take over. That's fair. But like electricity and our ability to use power, as long as the government and the Illuminati don't hold us back, is only going to get better, right? There are sources of power that we will find in the future that are better than what we know about now. And there's efficiency for AI and computer chips and things that are going to be better in the future than they are now. So you can never count out that. Look at that. Like things are always advancing until, you know, something catastrophic happens. Like what happened to the poor dinosaurs, supposedly. You know. Now all I need is to tape that off. This one. Got it. Look at that. It's perfect. Can't stop me now. Gonna have a good time. Okay. Now I need the opposite of an air duster. I need a vacuum. You're talking about power lines? Yo, Natural, my guy. Like, wake up, bro. Okay? Advancement is advancement. It is going to happen. There's going to be a day where power lines are not the way that you get your power. Maybe it's 1,000 years from now. I don't know when it is, right? But the advancement is there, right? The advancement will happen. About wireless transmission, but as engineers, impossible. Yeah, that's what they said about flying. That's what they said about jet engines. That's what they said about rockets. That's what they said about going to the moon, if you believe that. That's what they said about space travel. That's what they said about satellites. That's what they said. Every single thing that has come to pass has been a thing that before the technology advanced enough, it was impossible. So, you know, the engineering of something, right, is only as advanced as the advancement that you're at. We ain't gonna make it 20 years. I mean, I'm not saying we would make it. I'm just saying, like, things will progress unless something gets in the way, right? Like the idea that everything, like to take the idea that 100 years from now, we could apply the same things we know now and limit what can be done in 100 years from now, that to me is, that's just limiting your own way of thinking, right? Obviously we live in reality and what we have now is what we have, right? But if everybody thought that way, we would have never advanced anything. We wouldn't have had, like, no one would have flown. If everybody just thought, whoa, we don't have the technology to do that, then nobody would have fucking made an airplane. And if then it's like, oh, we don't have the energy or the power to send something into space, then nobody would have fucking launched a rocket. Ever. Because we were just like, oh, we don't have the tech. That's right, we don't. So that's why it has to be discovered or invented or speculated or figured out. That's how it works. Now, if the world's economy goes bust before then yeah, I guess. But maybe the aliens have figured it out, right? Like, what the fuck? Because aliens, am I right, dude? The aliens already know how to do it, bro. Laws of physics is impossible. Well, your understanding of physics makes it impossible. That doesn't make anything impossible. If you could change air, maybe yes, because air cracks around 20,000 voltage somehow. A major wireless transmission is less effective. Why would you make that when you can use cheap copper? Everything turns around money, even if it existed, too expensive. Yeah, bro, I'm sorry, but you know, I'm not gonna say I'm mad, but I'm kind of disappointed. That's a very limited way of thinking, considering that's the exact arguments they made for everything we have at the moment. Like, power lines, as you know them now, the argument for not doing them was the same. It was the fucking same. The same shit you're saying right now. People argued those same things. And yeah, when you fucking try to make something new, yes, it's expensive. It is, right? Research, the technology hasn't advanced yet. Yeah, all those things. But that's how it's done. That's how you find new stuff. You know what I mean? So you can cry too expensive all you want, and then the world will pass you by. You know, well, maybe it's not in our lifetime. You know, again, 100 years from now, we'll be gone. But whatever it is, right? Things will advance, my guy. And I think it's like, it's kind of like a limited thing to do is the assumption that you already know everything there is to know and to need to know. That is what stagnates progress. That's what stops advancement. That's what stops invention. And it may not mean much for us because maybe we're not going to live long enough to see some of this shit. But you know, we definitely can't have the world thinking like that. Like, you know, oh, it's impossible. Okay. And in 20 years, AI, shocking elephants. Thompson saying don't use the AC, alternating current. Yeah. Elephant used alternating current to kill elephants. Yeah. Okay. Problem called eggs being 20. True. NVIDIA never advances. Well, NVIDIA is not the determiner of what the future is. Matter of fact, there's a good possibility NVIDIA won't be a part of the 100-year future, right? They're a part of us now. They're a big part of our current future, But there's, you know, like these companies, they die and disappear all the time. You know what I mean? Like we see it from different lenses because we're living in the like the present moment. But if you like look at like history, like there's tons of things that were in power that, you know, are just crumbled and gone, you know? I mean, like advancement? Yeah. You prey on their downfall. Every time I see fake frames, I die. Yeah, I think we all die a little bit inside every time there's a fake frame. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, man. I am not a fan of the fake frame fiasco, you know. I think it's just what they should have done. I guarantee the reason they did it is because it's cheaper. It's a fuck ton cheaper to make GPUs that can run 3 times faster than the previous generation by using fake frames. AI generated guesswork frames is a hell of a lot cheaper to do than to make a GPU and silicon and whatever other substrates they're going to use. It's a lot more expensive to make that shit just rasterize and just fucking grunt out actually 2 to 3 times more real frames, you know, the ability to do that. So it for them, yes, of course, it's a money game for them. They're going to smash us in the face with the AI for 2 reasons. One, it's cheaper for them to do while still giving us charts that tell us that these things are so much better. And then secondly, we help train their AI for them, you know, and their AI, they use it in other things and they make a fuck ton of money in those other things. So they take 20 real frames to make 70 fake frames. Yeah, I don't like that ratio, my guy. That is not that is not appealing to me at all. All right, so now we could plug right into there. Okay, we got this kind of mounted, so I'll probably go ahead and hook this up. Let's see here. Nope, that's not fitting, so okay, there we go. I want this to like fit good, but I guess we're just a little bit stuck here. Getting newest GPU to see those. And if we find trail better than Sun, we would be on Sun. We're still in Silicon Age. 100 will be USA around 200 years. I can imagine my life without Henry if I don't live anywhere near. Yeah, it's just, man, like if history has anything to tell us, you just never know, man. There are so many things that can change with time. I could like slide these around too, I bet. Let me loosen these up. See what happens. Let's do that. Let's see here. Slide that a little better. Looks like that's fine. Okay. Here we go. Tying it up. Part of it right there. Alright, that might help it actually slide on here a little better. Yeah, that helps a lot. Okay, now what else? What else we got here? Okay. Then we got to fucking, dude, come on. Slide that down in place. Okay. It's all good right there. And my favorite because you all a mix of every culture. Yeah, mixed bag, yep. Swear when Europeans say or see them when they see a gypsy, they make Jim Crow look progressive. What would I give to visit your country? Eat so much, get 5 types of diabetes. No, man, you don't want that. I'm over here trying to avoid that kind of fucking shit, man. I'm here doing the carnivore diet, bro. So I basically avoid pretty much all carbs. Don't get me wrong. I've had my day. I had my time. I loved me some pasta, some rice. I love the ice creams, all that kind of stuff, but right now I'm trying to be healthy, and that stuff will kill you. But yeah, I understand what you mean. I get it. I totally get you, dude. Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, I understand your reason for what you're saying, but I think most people want to travel and see other places. Like, you get used to the place you're at, you know. And, you know, obviously you have your other reasons for what you're saying. But like lots of people, they want to see those other places. They want to travel out and check other places out, and then, you know, be able to safely return home. Yeah, the problem I have with like all the racism talk and stuff like that is just like, racism is any kind of racism, right? Like, too many people, like, they suffer with this idea that they know what racism is because they call it like one thing, right? But racism is just simply, if someone doesn't like you based on your race, it doesn't matter what your race is, right? You know, you could be as pale as possible, or you could be as dark as possible. It don't matter. If someone doesn't like you only because of that, or they like you only because of that, then that is a form of racism. It doesn't matter what direction it goes in. And I think the problem with modern society is people are worried about only certain types of racism, right? If racism goes in a direction that's in their favor, then they don't care. They only care when it's against them, right? And to me, racism is just, it is what it is, you know? It's not only white against black. It can be black against white. It can be brown against black. It can be, hell, you could be racist against your own like-looking people, right? You could just hate your own people, right? And you can hate them for the color of their skin. Another thing people confuse sometimes is racism is not the same thing as like country hating country, right? A lot of people confuse the country they live in with their race. That's not your race. They also have a lot of people that confuse their culture with their race. Your culture is not your race either. Has nothing to do with that. Your race is 100% based on your skin color and your looks. That is your race. Culture is separate. Your country and nationality is separate. Where you were born is separate. All those things are separate, right? And I think that's a big part of the problem is people confuse that as well. And everybody's so quick to call race this, race that. Dude, I don't care. I really don't give a shit what your race is. To me, if you're a good person, you're a good person. And if you're a piece of shit, I don't give a fuck if you're my twin. I could give a fuck less if you look exactly like me. If you're a piece of shit, I'm gonna fucking think of you as a piece of shit, right? And if you're an awesome person, I don't care if you're the exact opposite of me. I don't care if you're a little green dude from another planet. Then you're an awesome person. But that's your character that will determine that. People don't want to talk about Martin Luther King anymore. You're going to get me started right now. People don't want to talk about Martin Luther King anymore because his big preaching point was that we should only look at each other by the character inside, you know? Like the content of our hearts. That's what matters. But too many people don't want to live by that. Everybody wants to itemize themselves into these boxes. Like they want to separate themselves by gender and fucking, like what do they label themselves? Like, you know, whether they do this way or that way and in between the sheets. Who the fuck cares? I don't care what you do under your fucking sheets of your bed. Leave me the hell out of it. I don't care about any of that. Stop itemizing yourself by those things. Be a person of character rather than a person of race, rather than a person of gender, rather than a person of sexual orientation. Your character is separate. So, end speech. Okay, back to the tech stuff. When you realize every race built America. Yeah, okay. Hate everyone equal? I don't know about that, man. I'm sure you have some favoritism over there. That's what corruption does. Treat people by their actions. Yeah, that's the message. You know, like your actions and your character. You know, that determines. That's the big determiner. All right, so feels pretty solid. Well, I mean, what you don't understand when you talk about like every race built America, that's true. They all added to what we are of modern America. But a lot of times people want to erase history. And the reason they want to erase history is because they have their own form of racism, right? And like I said, people keep forgetting that racism can go in every direction, right? History is history. It is what it is. It happened. Who the fuck cares? Like, stop trying to change it and rewrite it. You know? It's like the reason America is great, one of the reasons is because of our Constitution, because of the ideas behind the Bill of Rights, because of the ideas behind of the writing of the Declaration of Independence and the wording of it. And those people were a certain type of people, and that is okay. It's history. It is what it is. You don't need to change that. You don't need to wash that away, right? It can be exactly what it is. And then through the years, America made a lot of mistakes and did a lot of horrible things, just like every other fucking country on this planet has done bad. But it was the founding of those ideas that helped foster all of the races that came together. And, you know, through trial and tribulation and war and famine and horrible things, they were able to rise up out of it and make something better out of it. But it took those ideas first. The writing of those words, the ideas of the founding fathers of America is very important. If you don't have those, there's a very good chance that America is not what it is today. America could just be like any other country that doesn't have some of the same laws that protect our freedom of speech and things like that that we have here, that some other countries don't have. Many countries don't have that. Some do, I'm sure, but not a lot. And it really sets the foundation, and that's fine. But again, people want to like fucking tear down statues, and you know, you're gonna get me into a whole mess of fucking preaching here. I'm not with any kind of fucking racism. I'm not for or against anybody based on race. I don't care for that. I don't like when people root for certain other people based on race, but you know, to each their own. You know, everybody should be allowed to think the way they want to think, as long as they don't harm others. But I don't like that. I don't like favoritism. I think it's wrong. But you know, this is a tech channel where I try to slap together some, you know, some fucked up looking PCs sometimes. I don't know if this is the appropriate place for this discussion. But by all means, carry on. I think what irritates me the most about that type of conversation is there's just too many people who try to take advantage of any kind of, like, you know, conflict between races. Like they thrive on conflict, and I don't like those type of people. You know, people are just too quick that they want to like jump into that fucking battle zone. All right. Anyway, so I guess to sum up my opinion is, if you're a piece of shit, I don't give a fuck if you're made out of fucking gold. If your skin is one of those gold aliens from one of those Star Trek shows, I could give a fuck less. Just stay away from me. Where the fuck? So if I want to plug this, alright, so we're going to use this plug here. Alright, and then this, I don't know. This is the part that I don't think it can reach into the... I guess I could just put it over top like that. That's fine. So I will be going into the BIOS because I need to make sure that this thing is actually doing time 16 and that it's also fucking at Gen 4. Because if we lose that, then we know that there's a problem with this cable. Oh, Swiss, what's up? I'm sorry if you caught me ranting. That's my way. You know it. You know it. Sometimes I get fired up. Yo, what the hell was that? Of course. Thank you, Swiss. We all suffer equally. We die for each other. It's a hate-love here. Alright, Holmes. Alright. So no sparks. I don't smell any smoke. I think we might be okay. We'll just let it simmer for a second because I don't want to risk anything majorly bad happening. Alright, also I need the keyboard. The good thing about this card, as long as nothing goes wrong, is, you know, it's got these here. Oh, let me turn it back off. It's got these RGB here is more prominent on the underside. So I really think this card series by PNY, they actually, I think, designed it to show off this side. Because this is like this little figure 8 loop, kind of like an infinity loop. So I turned it back off because we wanna plug this in, because obviously without the juice, you can't have anything running. Okay, if I could just fucking see. I'm gonna lift it up a little so I can see better. And maybe we'll use that to hang this on. Okay. Don't like, other. I'm religious. That doesn't mean I should treat them different in my opinions. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, natural. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's free to have, like their own kind of like, okay, I do my thing, whatever. You just can't hurt others, obviously. And then, I respect, I'm like you, I'm religious as well. I believe in God. So we're allowed to have those beliefs and those opinions. But what makes us a good person or a bad person is whether we treat other people like shit just because we disagree with their choices. That's what is the determining factor, right? I can disagree with your choice for your life while also not treating you like shit. I can treat you like, hey, you're a human. You're allowed to do your thing, even if I think what you're doing is a mistake. The only time I think that becomes different, obviously, is if the person in question is hurting other people. Then obviously we're talking about maybe crimes. We're talking about, baseline societal moral values that are wrong, things like that. So, but yeah, absolutely, I agree with you on that. Exactly. Yep. They're still human, They're still technically God's children, so doesn't matter. Life is me being subjected doesn't mean I will hate them. Right, exactly. No need to hate at all. We can have different opinions, but everybody is free to live their life, even if they're doing something that we might disagree with. It's their life. And I still think that they can still be good people. You know what I mean? Like, that's another thing. You can't think of them, well, if they do this, they can't be good people. Well, that to me personally is incorrect as well. Everybody can be a good person, right? As long as the things they're doing isn't hurting other people, right? And that's not to get into the penal code when you're talking about punishment of criminals and things like that. That's totally different. But just people living their life, your neighbors, people that you see on TV, people online, people on Twitter, whatever, right? When people are just living their lives and they're not hurting anybody, I acknowledge everybody can be a good person. irregardless of whether or not they live the life that I think is the best life, correct? And so that's what I hope I try to do, is I try to treat people from the point of view that, you know, even if you live your life completely different than mine, you're still potentially a good person as long as you're not doing bad things to people, you know? So I agree with you on that. Now let's get back to computer. And let's hope that this cable doesn't melt. Can't really see too well back there. Okay. Well, the problem with some people, though, that you'll find that I think, you know, just to like throw something out there, there are some people that they don't agree with what you and I are saying. Like they think it's wrong for you to have your opinions and your beliefs because they want your opinions and beliefs to like say that you agree with what they're doing. And that's not true freedom. And that's what makes America special. And hopefully there's other countries that are similar, but in America, our freedom of speech is protected, which means our freedom of ideas is protected more than a lot of other places. And I hope it stays the same. There's a battle here, obviously. But what that allows for is it allows from every angle. It allows the people that disagree with me and me who maybe disagree with them. It allows us to both live without fear, right? That we can live our life and have our opinions. You're allowed to have that. That is a God-given right. You know, nobody can take that from you except God. Whether you know, obviously whether you believe in God or not may affect how you interpret that statement. But even if, you know, even if you want to just say it, I believe that everybody should have the freedom of thought and speech. So that, because when you have that, then that forces people to choose to be a good person or a bad person, right? Because if everybody's allowed to express their opinions and they have their freedom of speech, then people who disagree with each other are forced to understand that people can disagree with you and still be a decent person. And it kind of forces you to evolve your way of thinking of others, right? Whereas when you have these other types of like systems where they don't protect your freedom of speech and thought, and maybe things are a little more hidden, and then they get jammed up and they get compressed, and then people start, in my opinion, people can hate on each other a lot more, just maybe more secretly. I think it's always better. Yeah, I hate glass panels because of the smudges of the fingerprints is what I hate. That's my biggest hate. Be functional, you know, treat everyone correctly, blah, blah, blah. Right, exactly. Yeah. Eat bricks of soda. Yeah, for real. Hey, it's your choice, man. Yeah. There are other extremes. Is I hate you. Yeah. Then they turn to that. That is true. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You say it how it is, how it was. It's all good. Real as they get. Wow. Thanks, Swiss. Well, time for me to reel it up when it comes to this PC and see if this bad boy has any problems with this riser cable. Okay. See what I mean? It has this awesome loop, figure 8. And it's all RGB. But like when it's the other way, it's kind of like stuck. You know what I mean? All right. So let me see if I can share the there we go. We're in the BIOS. As you can see, I still haven't changed anything. All I want to do is to see if I can make sure this PCi configuration is, see, it disabled it. You see that? Sometimes when I change the cable or even just unplugging a GPU and putting it back in on this motherboard, it will turn off 4G. Well, resizable bar, not 4G. So we got to keep that on. Look, P1, we are at times 16 Gen 4, so we should be fine. I don't see anything wrong with that. So that's all I did, is I just made sure resizable bar is good. And hopefully nothing goes wrong with the boot into Windows here. So I will hide that. Oh, great. Now we having a ton of fucking frame drops. Just right on time, too. Freaking figures. Bum, bum. They're so strong, I see a genuine excuse for them or hate everyone because they're blah blah blah. Or is there a lost count how many should I say friend and he for me when each other's versus yeah, and I mean there's also that, you know, it's like you know, at the end of the day sometimes words are words. And like friends can rag on each other. It should be fine. You know, it's a lot of times it's the intent behind it that makes the most difference. I don't like that it like leans, but whatever, dude. It is what it is, right? So now we gotta let it re-warm back up. Get back to itself, I guess. Pardon me, I have a ton of stuff to close now. Oh, I can hear my hard drive spinning up. Okay. Alt Z. What? No. Oh yeah, because you gotta do Alt R. Oh fuck, every damn time. Nope, you gotta go in here, then you gotta do statistics. Okay, and then... Okay, now we're good. Now we're fine. No offense because you didn't vote for no way. She ran back campaign. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think she lost because of bad campaign too. But also, I think she's just a bad person and candidate. The problem with a lot of the people on her side of the aisle is that they don't care about truth, right? They can bend truth however they want, and they don't stand for anything, right? They hate America a lot of times. Like, a lot of people on that side actually hate this country, and it's like, well, then I don't understand. Like, even if you think the country needs to be better or change, you shouldn't hate the country. You should, like, you know, want to do those things to, like, okay, I know how to improve things, right? And I mean, if you just looked at policy, my goodness gracious, the policies that they want to come up with, and don't get me wrong, every politician is going to screw up this. It's just how it is. It's just the name of the game. But sometimes there's just one side. Actually, most times there's one side that's going to screw things up worse than the other side. So, you know, I'm not going to vote for somebody that's going to, like, screw things up royally. Like, no fucking way. Not happening. Yes, like, and the identity politics to me is insufferable. I hate identity politics. To me, talk to me like I'm a person. Don't talk to me like I'm, you know, some fucking thing that you have to check off, some quota. You need a certain number of me. Or like most of the time here in America, they look at me like they have too many of me. So then that's how they look at me, right? When a politician's on that side of the aisle talk to people like me, a lot of times they look at us like, well, I already got plenty of you. I don't need any more of you. I need these other people, right? And I don't like that. Don't get me wrong. I understand in politics you have to strategize, and you're probably you know, understand this as well. When you run a campaign, you have to strategize, and you have to say, okay, I need so many votes from these different communities, blah blah blah. I get that point. But they just take identity politics to another level. They take it way too far. Well, you know what? I guess it's a coming out party for me today. Natural's like bringing it all out. Trump's not evil. What makes you think Trump's evil? I mean, don't get me wrong, he could secretly be evil. Everybody could. Any single person can be, like, I could secretly be evil, dude. I put on this front, you know, I'm like a nice guy on YouTube that just yells at his computer sometimes or whatever and curses, right? But I could be evil. I could secretly be evil, right? But there's not a single thing he's done that is just pure evil. You gotta find something secret if you want to say that Trump's evil. You know, in his policies, are you kidding me? His policies, I would give him a grade of, like, the highest grade I think I can ever give to any politician is like 60 to 70% his policies are good. I have my problems. I have a ton of problems with certain things here or there. But like overall, good. Like, people want to talk shit about the tariffs and everything, and it's like, even that, like, I don't have a big problem with the tariffs. To me, like, all these companies were going to charge us more anyway. You think Nvidia wasn't going to charge you $3,000 through MSI and through Asus and all these other companies? You think those companies weren't going to fucking jack their prices up anyway? That's what they were going to do. The fucking, I remember the 3090 Ti was $2,000 fucking dollars. The 3090 Ti, 2,000. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I don't know. I think a lot of people are just wet behind the ears when it comes to this kind of stuff, and they let their emotions determine what they think about somebody and what they think about policy, right? And if the policy comes from someone you don't like, then a lot of people just look at it from the point of view like, oh, well, it's bad policy. And it's like, no, a fucking good policy can come from anybody, right? And if it's good, it's good. Like even Biden, like there were certain things I was okay with that Biden did, right? Like he was still a horrible president. Horrible. Worst president ever. Worst president ever. PCs over politics. Vote for PCs. What's up, Vara? Z Vara. Welcome on in. I'm just gonna I mean, just don't agree with policies. I agree they should up social care. Terrors. I'm not an economist, but should have worked. Did strike deals. For me, if you make people live good and respect on the law. Yeah, I mean, there's always the balance. Like that's the problem with like politics and like running a country. Is you got to run the balance between freedom and your government like giving you things, right? And it's, you know, I find myself sometimes like in the middle, because obviously if we could all pull things together, you know, like togetherness, then we could definitely all live better, right? But the more you lean towards that, the less freedom you have, right? So it's like you got to find the balance. It's a very hard thing to do. I'm not going to say I'm smart enough to figure out what the fuck that would be, right? But like finding the perfect balance between those things would be ideal, you know? It's like everybody gets their freedoms, but then also we pull things together, because governments don't make, you know, they don't just get money out of nowhere. They tax their people to fucking get all these things to work, right? But if you could find like that middle ground where you got good care and help from government, which government is supposed to be us, right? It's from us. That's what a government should be. And like through all of us together through that, it like kind of like filters it back to us and helps us, while also allowing us the freedom to, you know, if we want to do a business, if we want to, you know, move around, if we want to whatever, if we want to own property, if we want to think differently, if we want to disagree with the government, if we want to go with this kind of insurance or that insurance, right? Giving like a middle ground of both worlds, that's a very difficult thing to do. And a lot of people don't even take the time to think how difficult it is, right? Yeah, thanks for coming by, Vara. Appreciate it. But it's such a hard thing to do. And I think people argue with each other all day and night sometimes, and they get like frothing at the mouth. And a lot of times it's like some people want more help from the government, and then other people are arguing for more freedom, right? And less government, right? But it's like if we would just calm down and realize that there is a balance where we could like kind of find somewhere in the middle where we'd be good to go, you know? But yeah, well. Oh well, people are going to argue no matter what. Like if we didn't have policies to argue about, like people argue about sports. People argue about fucking, you know, what team, you know, like which sport is better, what team is better, what, like dude, people are gonna argue anyway, so it doesn't really fucking matter, you know. Like even if we were to avoid certain things, certain subjects, right? Because we don't want to get heated. Dude, it wouldn't matter. Somebody would argue about that this is the wrong fucking brand GPU, right? People are going to get pissed irregardless, and they're going to talk shit irregardless. That's the world we live in. All right, let's see if these fans spin up. If Speedway is going to fucking get it done, I don't know. PCs. I have some videos posted. I love it. Great hobby. Distracted me from being a heavy drinker. Oh, fuck yeah, man. Cheers to you with agua. Cheers to you with the water, man. Good job. Yeah, I feel the same way. There's like, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I have a problem also with like spending money that I shouldn't, you know, like maybe getting the newest, latest tech or whatever. But I liken it for me in a personal situation. It feels like I could definitely spend my money on worse things. Gonna say hi? Say hi, everybody. Say hi. Right here, right here. Say hi. Say what's up. I'll see you later. Good job. Here, take this. Take that. Thank you. But like I liken it to the idea that there are worse things I could be dumping my money on for sure. So you know, obviously you gotta keep that within reason too. But yeah, I've had my vices as well, and I'd agree with you. I think PC tinkering, hardware, even gaming, just PC gaming in general has kind of helped me a lot as well on some of those things. Yeah, yeah. He always likes to come over and like stick his nose into what's going on with the stream. But yeah, also it brings out a lot of like people like from different ideas of, you know, whether, because it's not all gamers. Like I kind of lean more towards like gaming and obviously streaming hardware and stuff like that. But like when I do these streams, like tons of people come in here that are like, you know, shoot, they're like into engineering or they're into art or whatever. So they're into the PC hobby because they use their PCs for all kinds of other things, you know what I mean? So that's a really cool thing too. Currently building on a Strix B850. Oh, nice. Nice platform. Nice, dude. You need a game where you code multitasking. Yeah. Like a Project Lasso coding game of some type. Yeah. All right, let me take this score down. So we got a 6,005 on that. Where's my notes here? All right, so on the direct slot with the GPU plugged directly into the PCI slot, we had a score of 5,996. So this score of a 6,005, that's super margin of error. So I'd say we did not lose any performance. I'm not going to say we gained performance because I mean it is a higher score, but it's like that's nothing. That's no big deal. Average temperatures are a little better. Actually, no, they're the same. Average temperature is 70 instead of 69. That's actually slightly higher, so it's whatever. We need to ask the kid most important question: milk chocolate or white chocolate? Yeah, we keep him. Thankfully, we've kept him away from sweets in general pretty well. He doesn't really crave that. And though we do like chocolate as far as like not the sugary kind, but like, you know, more of like a dark chocolate style, and it's a little too strong for his flavor, I guess. He not super into it. Like he would be just fine with steak, eggs, and frozen blueberries, basically. Like if he wants something sweet, it would be like mostly like something like a frozen blueberry. Which thank God for that, because it's definitely not good for them when they get too overwhelmed with the sweet stuff. Alright, so let's do regular Steel Nomad. But yeah, definitely appreciate you guys hanging out and humoring me and tickling my brain with the many different conversations that come up. Some fruits are so sugary. Yeah, over here we end up trying to get, you know, if you want to avoid that, you can get organic, and or you can get something called like wild harvested. And like wild berries, like wild blueberries are a lot better. Yeah, we're the same. We prefer like the more tangy, soury fruits than the loaded up sugary ones. And me personally, I haven't really been even divulging in the fruit that much myself, because I've been trying to like really focus on like a carnivore keto style diet plan, because I was having a ton of trouble with carbs and even like certain types of like wheat, like, you know, like heavy gluten style wheat stuff. I was having a lot of trouble with that, where it was just making me feel sick. And I didn't used to be that way. That's not how I was raised eating all those things, and I never really had a problem with any of that stuff. But I don't know, something within the last 10 years changed, and now I just don't react well to those things. And since starting like about a month or two ago this carnivore way of eating, I feel a ton better, and I think it might help me reset. And then when I'm done with, you know, like a reset of it, I could probably partake in like those normal things again. You know, I could probably go back and have pasta every now and then, you know, have rice every now and then. I could probably do all those things and not have the crazy reactions I was getting before. All right, so previous score was 5394. Now we got a 5368, so that's a little lower. I mean, that can still be kind of margin of error zone, but you know, it's not a big enough difference that I would freak out about it. So temperatures are 73, so only, you know, like maybe a percent higher on the temperatures. Alright, so that was Steel Nomad. Now let's go down to Steel Nomad Light. Let's see what it does with higher frame rates. See if this riser cable has any problems with 160 plus FPS. Plums. Yeah, I love plums. I miss that. Can go with the sweet and spongy ones. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I like them when they're firm. They have a lot more like tangy, like sour, like that acid to it. Oh yeah, you like them potatoes? Potatoes. You lost 6 kilos. Damn, that's big. Nice, man. Those apples are Granny Smith. Yes, give me the sour. I agree. Kill me, but they're the best. Yeah. Yeah, we were big into potatoes too. I mean, we still kind of are, except for, you know, I'm the lone wolf right now, where I will, you know, pass on the potatoes, even though I love me some potatoes. And there's just no wrong way to fix a potato. It's probably the most versatile piece of food on the planet. Like, you can do anything with a potato. And it will pretty much be good and okay. Alright, so now we got... so still Nomad Light. Our score last time was 23,611. This time it was 23,844. So see, we're going up and down. So that's, I really feel like all that's pretty much margin of error. Because sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower, but it's like the scores are all fine. It's close, it's comparable. Should be good to go. Let's check out the averages here. Average of 71. And the temperatures for the GPU. Last time it was 72. So yeah, we're trading. Now it's a little lower this time. That's fine. Still Nomad Light. So now we'll try Time Spy Extreme. Let's see how it goes. Roasted potatoes and white Danish cheese. That sounds delicious, dude. Said to me, as long as you're happy with your PC, don't look at it. Okay. It's a PC builder. I want perfection even though I don't need it. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, man. Oh, natural with Jones. You're right, Swiss. Oh, I meant to ask if you're still out there, Zivara. What other components are you throwing on that 850 motherboard? Or are you still getting your parts together? Yeah, a lot of times I do end up chasing perfection on the... Like when I put a build together, like sometimes I have expectations of how games are going to run and blah blah blah, and I'm too like aware of any kind of hitches or like, you know, if there's screen tearing or like maybe there's stutter or there's like, you know, whatever. And sometimes I get a little too like oppressive about, oh fuck, something's wrong. Did you see it? It just stuttered there for a second. Or like if I hadn't really been so into like the building and everything of the PC, maybe I would have just played the game and not even noticed the stutter. So I think being into this also made me more critical of game performance than I used to be. Actually no, I know it did. I know it made me more critical. 100% it did. Oh, bummer. I guess Zivara left. Sorry. Sorry if you watched the VOD. Also, just a heads up, anybody out there, Natural and I noticed earlier that my chat is sometimes not getting, like if you chat me some messages, sometimes it like isn't all going through. So I don't know. It might be just today. I don't think I've that's come up before, but today we had some messages that weren't popping up in my chat, so we had to like go back and forth a bit. Crazy idea to cool fans of GPU. Yeah. Put that cold air on it. Yeah, when I saw stutter, no, I know it's normal. Right, yes. Is not constant, and especially when seeing sync. Yep, normal. Yeah. Like if you focus on it, yeah, there's always going to be. This is the thing, like, I've got to keep reminding myself of this. If you stare at, I don't care if you have a 5090 and you have a 9800 X3D and you have the best OLED monitor money can buy and you have everything, right? It doesn't matter. If you look at it hard enough, you will find things wrong. There will be stutters, there will be hitches, there might be a screen tear, there might be some smearing. You know, there is like nothing is perfect, and it's like I forget that sometimes because I get so excited, like throwing like, oh my gosh, if I add this GPU with this CPU, oh my gosh, it's going to play so much better, blah blah blah. And I'm so focused on that it's going to be so much better. And then when I look at the game and I'm like, you know, you get up close to it like that, you know, it's like then you're just seeing all the problems and you're just like, why do I still have problems? What the heck? When really it's better than it was before. You're just hyper focused on every freaking frame that your eyes can see. So anyway. Alright, so on Time Spy Extreme, last time we got a 10,582. This time we got a 10,589. So again, we're doing fine. I think the riser cable is a success. Temperature was also averaging the same, 74 degrees. So I think we're fine. That's amazing. I'm very happy. I did predict that. I said I think there's gonna be no problem with the scores unless there's something wrong with the cable. That's what I predicted. So let's move on. Let us do now Firestrike Ultra. So we'll kind of hit the GPU from a different angle per se. See what happens. Because we always in our subconscious expect worse, and when we see it, we hate it or have too much yeah. Yep. Lowered expectations. Oh man, it's almost time for me to go train again. The time flies, bro. Also, another thing that is not ideal when you do 3D Mark stuff is having another like frame counter. Like I have the NVIDIA app is doing the overlay with it's watching the frames and, you know, the GPU monitoring stuff. That can also cause like performance deviations and weirdness sometimes. So. Oh man, this is the perfect soundtrack for these tests though. All right, final part of the test. Get auto CPU reduced. I'm gonna get 10,000 FPS. Okay. Oh man, 1,000 FPS, dude. That'd be like you'd probably like go back in time if you were like pushing 1,000 FPS. Alright, so let's see. Last time we got a 14,913. This time we got a 14,945. Our average GPU temperature was a 72. Okay. Versus last time it was a 70. So. Whoa, buddy. Buddy, are you okay? Say bye. So bye. You're supposed to say bye. You gotta go. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Okay, run. Go. Alright. Okay, so that was Fire Strike. Now we're gonna do that PCie lane test, whatever, feature test. And let's make sure that we got the similar bandwidth passing through. Games come so hard to run without even looking good. Damn you, Unreal 5. That's true. Holy crap. I miss the days like when I started PC gaming, like, you know, obviously there was Doom and this and that, but to me the most impressive game from my younger PC gaming days, I mean, I did start with like the NES and Atari, but that's different. That's another conversation. But as far as like PC gaming impressing me, and I even started with like a Commodore 64. That was my first computer ever. But as far as being impressed by PC gaming, I remember the days of like Half-Life 1. Half-Life 1 to this day is still the most impressed I've ever been playing a game. Like day one when I played Half-Life 1, it blew my fucking mind. Like, and then the hardware it was running on, like the amount of content that's in that game, the depth, the just, you know, the fact that it's a 3D game, and then just, I don't know, man. It's just, they haven't matched that in my opinion. Like the performance of games in the worlds of games should be so astronomically bigger than they are. But I don't know what happened. Somewhere along the lane, the way, things just did not fucking get better. They just found a way to, like, I don't know, put more makeup on it, so to speak. Okay, so we probably are losing a little bit of bandwidth because it's showing me at 25.17, whereas last time we had a 25.2 is what we had. But I don't think it's anything to get worked up about. I think that's still plenty good. Average temperature was a 49. Last time it was 48. Margin of error, no big deal. Alright, so I think this was a success. I'm gonna get started wrapping things up here. I'm gonna go ahead and close that. And we'll see what our GPU temperature settles down around to. See if it comes back close to 44, if it stays at 46 right now. That's why I like when companies like Rockstar use their own engine. Yeah, it does help. Use GTA 5 today would still be the most sold game. Probably. GTA also has that brand awareness kind of thing going for it as well. That cannot be understated. You know, it's just the recognition of that brand, you know, is just, it's huge. It's fucking crazy. Made today, but it was in 2013. True, true, very true. Well, they did do that, I forget what it's called, like that fucking upgraded something graphics that they did to it. But still, you're totally right. I blame TEA, anti-aliasing, bad rendering. Yeah, ghosting. Damn you, Unreal 5. Yeah, so Unreal 5 is like full of that shit, I guess. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, same for me. I really feel like those things are, you know, they're just lazy ways. Like, to me, it's the same thing with, like, a lot of people. I have a controversial opinion, like, for some people, where I actually think depth of field and motion blur are trash. More people agree with me on motion blur than they do on depth of field. But I think I'll start with motion blur. Motion blur is stupid, in my opinion, for lots of reasons, unless it is specifically being used to help cover up, like, you know, performance stuttering and stuff like that, like low frame rates and things like that. Sometimes you can use a type of motion blur to help that, you know, look smoother, and that's totally fine. A lot of consoles use that shit. But as far as, like, if you're getting 60 FPS or higher and also turning on motion blur, to me, we can't be friends, okay? Because that is, to me, the worst fucking thing I can experience is motion blur. Our eyes already blur things that are fast. Like, I don't like pretending that I'm looking with my eyes through someone else's eyes, right? Like, if I'm playing a game that's FPS, first person, I want the screen to get out of the way, and I want to feel like my eyes are seeing the thing that's on the screen. When you add a layer of motion blur, it takes me out of it because it feels exactly like what it is, you know? You are trying to replicate what my eyes do naturally by putting a bunch of smearing, and it's dumb. The other thing that I hate is depth of field. Depth of field, I think, can make things look pretty, but it's like, it's very limited use, in my opinion, when it comes to actually playing a fucking game, right? When I'm playing a game that I'm moving in and I'm doing things, to me, depth of field, it has to be off. It has to be off, because my eyes, especially if I do it on like a bigger screen, like if I play on my TV or something like that, my eyes already have to like blur. That's natural. Like my hands right here have a bit of blur because I'm focused over there, right? It's the same when I look at a screen. I don't want blur on top of blur. My eyes blur, and then you're also gonna blur with depth of field? No, I don't think so, homie. To me, it's just flawed. Bad idea. If they mess up with your phone like they did Cyberpunk, you're gonna crash out. Yeah, hopefully they don't, man. Are they doing any custom engine for it? Because that might be the tail. Like if they outsource their game engine. Like if it's Unreal 5, you know, you probably shit out of luck, dude. I don't know what it's being built in. Motion blur takes 10 FPS in. Oh, it does? Wow, that's crazy. Does it feel? I don't like when you want to focus on something. Someone been focusing on convo or getting hit by a grenade. Right? Yeah. Limited use, exactly. I can't stand games like that won't let me turn that off, because most games, the way they implement depth of field is like it's on everywhere all the fucking time, right? And it's like, your character, especially third-person games, like if you're playing Stellar Blade or fucking Black Myth Wukong and you got depth of field on, and like your character might be looking right here, right? But every now and then I'm looking at the whole screen and like all the trees and shit are just like a blurry mess. Ugh, disgusting. Can't do it. Can't do it, man. But like, like you say, if it's like we go into like a cutscene and then like, oh, conversation, and then it kind of depth of fields the person's face, I got no problem with that. Or like, some explosion effects, or like if there's somebody uses some kind of power and it like blows everything up, and then there's some depth of field work in there or whatever, totally fine, right? So when I specifically hate on depth of field is 100% when it's just a graphic setting in the game. No thank you. I do everything I can to turn those two things off. Every time. There are zero exceptions. The only time I would ever consider trying to turn one of them on, it would be motion blur, and it would only be if I was like trying out, like a lower powered system and I was trying to jack up some of the settings and it was keeping my frame rate low, then maybe I'd play with the motion blur to see if it can look a little better. But even then it feels weird with a mouse. When you're playing with a keyboard and mouse and you got motion blur on, it can like fuck up the sensitivity sometimes, and that's garbage. Alright, let me check the SSD temperatures. Oh great. Well, turn this off. So we're coming up to the end. My apologies. I have got to go do my training, exercise, workout, etc. Trying to stay healthy. Trying to stay healthy, y'all. I will check. I don't know if oh no. Best depth of field I saw is cutscenes in Witcher 3. Oh really? Okay. Yeah, I mean every now and then like depth of field, I like it sometimes when I did certain, like the only time I ever universally was okay with depth of field was when I was messing around with like shaders and ENDs and stuff like that on Skyrim with the mods and like the custom lighting and all that. You could fucking get some phenomenal, but that was because I was looking at the game kind of like a photography thing, right? That was the difference. I took it as if it was a photography situation, and I was going for pure looks, pure aesthetics. I wasn't actually like running around in the game and playing, so to speak. It was just, set my character up and, wow, look how great this looks, right? But when it comes to actually playing the game, like if I was like, okay, I'm gonna play Skyrim from start to finish, the depth of field part has to turn off. It has to. I can't do it. Like I already got bad enough eyes. I don't need that shit on top of it. All right, here we go. All right, I'm done. Getting out of here. They don't repeat. Cyberpunk, first I played Witcher 3. Was enjoying my life. Go to game. Cool. Yeah, hopefully, man. You just never know, dude. There's just too many things that these companies worry about over and above making a good game nowadays. It seems like that's another hot topic. We'll save that one for tomorrow, but we all know a lot of these game companies sometimes they're worried about too many other things than just making a good game, or making a game that runs good. How about that? So well, yeah, with path ray tracing, yes. Wait, what? Minecraft harder to run? Bro, if I'm walking trees blurry, I want to break some. How Minecraft shaders look better. Yeah, they do look pretty damn good, especially lately. They're getting so good with that stuff. And you can bring a 4090 or even a 5090 down to its knees. You can break it with some of that Minecraft stuff that they got. The real Minecraft stuff. I love watching those videos on YouTube, man. Definitely. Dude, the amount of viewer offers we're getting from Streamboo. Thank you. Thanks for all those offers. Like, what is that? Like, what is the point of that? Like, what are they, bots or something? Like, these, it's constantly in my Twitch chat and Kick, I'm getting offers for viewers, cheap viewers, and it's like, well, what do you mean? Are you paying people to watch me if I go to you, or what is it, bots? Like, why are they offering me? What is the incentive? Or is it just, you know, people trying to give me viruses and malware? I don't know. Well, anyway, let me wrap this up by saying thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. Appreciate it. Sorry for the rambling and ranting. I blame Natural. Totally his fault. Sorry, but no, I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Java is inefficient. Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes sense. The more efficient the engine is, the better. Yeah. Yeah. I remember a long time ago I started looking into, I was studying a little bit of Java coding, and I remember someone telling me, don't even bother. This shit is dying. Okay? Do not, right? Spend your time studying something else. And I guess they were correct. I just wish I would have done a better job of studying those other things. Anyway. But peace out, everybody. Thank you. You know, don't be afraid, you know, if you're a lurker in the chat and you see me ranting and raving and rambling, don't let it turn you off. You know, that's just my way. Half the time I'm doing that with the computers here anyway. But thank you for being here. Thanks for lurking. Appreciate Swiss over there on Twitch holding it down. Thanks, Natural. Thanks for chatting and hanging out. I don't know if Zivara is still out there. Thank you. Thank you for chilling. Oh, in May, I knew we had some lurkers because I see the numbers moving. So thank you. Thank you for lurking, May. Appreciate it. What else we got here? If I missed anybody, my apologies. Mostly it was, you know, we had some followers on Kick, actually. Thanks for kicking with me on Kick. I think I had a few lurkers on Twitch, but I ran them off with my rambling and ranting and all my politic talk. I'm not really into that. That's just an occasional thing that happens from time to time. So don't worry. We sometimes we just like to chat, man. That's all. All right, cool. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow, but no promises. Weekend stuff is weekend stuff. But if not tomorrow, then it will be Monday that we do some things. So yeah, we're good. All right, cool. So once again, thanks everybody, and catch you on the next one. Catch you on the flip side. I guess. See you next stream. Ciao for now.